Good afternoon to you, our viewers. You're welcome to this week's episode of the Roundtable. My name is Shegun Odunayo. Like it's our custom, we have three major topics eating up the polity and affects Nigerians and, of course, the country Nigeria that we'll be talking about this day. We'll be dissecting these topics from various lenses and presenting the facts to you as we should. I have on the program today with me two intelligent persons, one a regular on this platform and another face, a new person on this platform. Yes, I'm not mistaken. I think this is the first time on the show. I think I'll be starting with the regular face that you are used to. To my left is Mr. Dekunle Aliu.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Analyst of repute and a great journalist with a fantastic curriculum vitae. To my right is Daramola. I think it's your first time on this show.
I think you're wrong, actually. This is not my first time.
But this year, this is your first time this year.
First time this year, but not my first time. Yeah. But it's good to be here.
First time on North. I mean, you bring on your A game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, figure will be here. Our viewers, you're welcome. We'll be starting this week with the very first topic, which is that for the month of December 2024, of course, last year, there was a rise in inflation as released by the the NBS, Bureau of Statistics, National Bureau of Statistics. The figures have it that we have inflation rate for December. The rate was at 34.8, about 0.2% higher than that of November, despite the oblazing and the too much faji and enjoyment and merriment. NBS has come out to say that we still had inflation in the month of December. I think I'll be starting with you, Mr. Dekunle.
Wow.
I mean, many persons felt that December was perhaps the best month for Nigerians of 2024. There was an unusual level of spending. We've seen the analysis, we've seen the analytics and all of that. But we all assume that, every outside was full. Everybody was outside in the local parlance where we say it. But inflation was also outside. And many persons from people who sell chicken, turkey and all of that, farmers came out to say that they didn't sell as much as they used to in the past. And the figures are now staring us in the face.
Well, it's just the way we are. This is an experience of another cost or demand pull inflation. So because we are demanding so much, we had to spend so much during the December period. So it has led to what? Pushing prices of goods and services upward. We are paying the result of what we are planting, rather. But again, this is it for me. I think we should find a way to really tame this inflation so that it doesn't go beyond our reach. It's rising too much. When other countries are celebrating lower inflation, we are celebrating high inflation. It's wrong. We need to do something. The government needs to step up its A game and find solution to catch this thing. Also, note that the currency depreciation is also part of the problem. I think government should up its game. It's wrong. The inflation is not, we are not enjoying it. We've been having this thing running for the past 6 to 7 months or 8 months that the new government coming. It has been rising. It has not gone down. And we're hoping that it will go down. If you look at the way things are going in the country, everyday prices of goods and services are going up. Yam, beans, what? Is it the house rent? There's nothing. There's no price. The other day somebody bought one beverages and we were contemplating how much. He told me, look, they saw this in my area at 200 naira. I got to my own area, it was 250. Then 3 days later, I said, look, they now saw this in my area, 300 naira. I was like, what? Someone now gives, no, in my area it's 500 naira. So I think government need to step its foot on the ground and tame this guy called inflation.
So, okay. How do we tame inflation? Should they tame inflation?
That's another big one for me, because if you look at it, we've been trying to tame inflation not for 20 years I've been born. I think the country has been trying to tame inflation.
Has this government been trying to tame inflation?
It's not, I said the country. It's not even about the government.
I'm saying that
so
this particular
everybody needs to be involved in taming inflation.
The Tinubu government is almost 2 years. Have they been trying to tame inflation at all? Despite the increase,
their policies, the naira depreciation and so on, is to try and catch inflation. The Dangote refinery is trying to catch this thing and see if we can reduce naira and dollar power so that we can hold inflation down. But you see, it's so unfortunate that sometimes when you are trying to hold this thing down, it jumps.
Wow.
it gallops. Inflation can just triple away from you and it becomes something else. So if you don't do it well, all their policy is get towards trying to tame the dollar against the naira. So trying to manage your inflation, trying to manage the economy, trying to put everything at a beck and call where everybody can enjoy. But it looks unfortunate that, look, this thing is going higher. How much is a Maltina, if I may ask? Maltina to do, according to one of my best. How much? From 200 naira to 500 to 600 naira? It's uncalled for. We need to
I have
be...
this favorite drink.
Yeah.
This favorite drink. I love it a lot. You know, I was discussing with a colleague the other day, and remember when we used to get it for 300. Even let's not start from when it was 100 now.
Okay.
When it was 300,
Okay.
it became 350. You don't have change. It became 400.
So that's inflation for you.
It's 500.
So you see, that's inflation bringing the price.
I thought if it gets 500, I would not buy. But
We are getting the result of December in January 15. The result of what we did in December and January 15. So what will happen in January, in February, when they are giving us the report of what is happening in January?
I'm going there, but I think I'll just come quickly to Anything. Anything, the belief is that when it is December, people do sales.
Yeah.
So, you know, you say buy 5, you know, I'll sell 5 for you at the price of 3. So it was expected that the inflation should drop a little.
Yeah.
Then there was presence of extra cash from the outside boys. I just go back. They just go back crew, and they came in their numbers because we saw the analysis and we saw the figures. So the belief was, you know, if you are selling something for 10,000 naira usually, because it's December, you are doing sales, you want to push out everything and all that, you bring it out to 8K. So it was expected a bit that things would come down, rather things went up.
Oh well.
What's going to be responsible?
Well, I think a lot of things would be responsible. You know, we have to consider the fact that we have been battling inflation.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. You understand? So every month something comes up. You know, the inflation rate goes up higher. It goes higher, and I almost like, because throughout this the previous year 2024, it was like, you know, every month we have a new increase in the inflation rate. So I would and I will not just put the blame on they just got back crew in quotes. I won't put the blame on them alone. I think MBS. I'm saying I won't put the blame on them because it's not they are not the government. The rescuing in quotes shouldn't come from them. However, it should be an advantage to us because there should be more money coming in. However, as it has always been. Like I think it was Bob Marley that sang that as it was a beginning, socially being the end. He sang in one of his songs. December is hot cake for business people. Yes. December is hot cake for traders. December is hot cake for marketers. What they were selling 20 naira before would likely go up to 40 naira. Why? Because I want it, you want it, Mr. Ali wants it, and our viewers, they also want it. So, there's higher demand for it. And exactly, that's why MBS is saying that, the higher demand in December called for, is the reason why there is, the slight increase, 0.20 in the inflation rate. So, like Mr. Ali was saying that, the monetary policy, the devaluation of Naira. Trying to, bridge the gap between the Naira and the dollar would, solve this issue. I think, yes, while he is right, I think that will not be the only, the only means to go. You understand? The only way to go to try to curb the rate of inflation in Nigeria. Because the more you are trying to do it this way, there are other things coming up elsewhere. So I think we should look at it holistically, and then we should look at other means. So while maybe the, trying to curb the dollar rate would be the main focus, there should be other things too. So there should be substitutes for products, for example. So if everybody's trying to chase product A, everybody's going after this. Yeah, it might look like it will give you the best, quality that you want. But then I think people can also have alternatives. People can also have alternatives, you understand?
So it should be about being innovative, even in creativity or in manufacturing.
Exactly.
Rather than, something like that.
Well,
we need to be innovative too.
I know. Because if you look at it, the
but again, it has to be
international standard. A loaf of bread is around almost going to 2,000 naira.
Yeah.
I used to buy a loaf of bread at one time, not far away, not just, too far away ago. I used to buy it for maybe around 800 naira. Do you understand? But now it's almost times 2, if not just times 2, and going beyond.
It's just almost
and
2K.
Exactly. It's almost 2K. Don't just say 2K like that. Urgent 2K used to be something for some people. Yeah, so don't just say 2K like that.
Nice,
but wow,
10K,
you know what?
there's no 2K again.
But even
2K,
to drop 2K, if anybody gives anybody 2K
I'm saying
in this economy,
what I'm saying
you really
then
need to
was,
praise
it
that.
was urgent 2K because you can spare 2K, 2K.
2K,
But now
2K.
the 2K urgent 2K then is now 10K.
Yes, true. But jokes aside, we really need to look at, the government really needs to look at other means to try to curb inflation because it's going higher and higher and higher. Because if you check year on year,
Talking about going higher, December 2023, it was 24%, almost 25 because it was 24.66%. And then a year, exactly 12 months after, we are doing 34.80.
And that's about 5
What are we going to be doing in
something they're about to
2025?
increase. Oh, you want me to project?
No, I'm just saying. I'm
going to be optimistic. I'll try to be optimistic. You understand? I'll try to be optimistic, hoping that, with the hope that, this government, the Tinubu-led government, would find a solution, or at least find a breaking point to say, oh, this is what we are going to do, or these are the things that we are going to do, and no matter how little the effects might be, it must be positive. It should be positive, and then we can continue on that trend, hoping that it will bring a drop. Well, that's all you can say with policies. Right. Sometimes you can plan and say, oh, this is the expected result, but then some other things might just come up. That exactly. So
I think I should quickly move to Mr. Liu now.
That was the renewed hope, right?
Yeah, so renewed hope.
that was in December. December was giving us 34.80, slightly above November.
Yeah,
and that was supposed to be a prosperous month. So if we are looking out for something, when the next analysis will come out by MBS in February, we'll be analyzing January 25, and we all know what January usually looks like for many Nigerians. So what are we predicting? Let's just quickly, because I know when it's that time. So
since they said the December was pushed by demand pull inflation, so since December there's scarcity of resources in the hand of many people, maybe the inflation will drop. Since there is no much cash to chase, the oblate season has oblayed itself. So all the IG I just got back have gone back.
Straight.
So no dollars to throw around. So maybe. But having said that, for me, I think it's a running battle. Every country is running battle against inflation. Every country is fighting a war against inflation. So we need to seriously bring that thing back to 0.2. As in back. We shouldn't have 26. We are already...
No, we are 30.
We are in 30. We're already in the problem. So if we are not trying to curb it, we're going to go to 50. And
even these figures, the current figures are war-torn country inflation figures.
It's not exciting. That's what we're battling it. It's not exciting.
This are figures for...
It's not. Recall last week we discussed about the telcos trying to increase their tariff. Rates. Why? It's the same inflation problem. It's the same problem.
The OP guys on the streets.
Everybody's looking for money.
Exactly.
If it's not cost push, it's demand pull. If it's not cost push, it's demand pull. So if you're not demanding for something to cause inflation, you're putting on the cost of production. So I'm saying, look, government need to sit up. Look at the price of yams and other things. We are talking about bread. How about yam? How about these things are just going away from the reach of the common man.
I think,
and it's wrong. I think the government needs to step its foot on the ground to copy. I don't know how to do it. It's not in my coffers. I don't get it. I'm like somebody who say it's not in my pay grade to take that decision. But those who earn this money to take, they should please
those who use security.
Take the appropriate. People are hungry.
Buying fuel for.
It's not joke. The embassy is not joking bringing out these reports. It's painful. I'm sure when they are looking at we're killing our country again with Israel. But again, that's it. It's the truth. So they need to work. Everybody needs to put in place the policies and economic theories that will just stem inflation and cool it down. It should be going down. It should be really negative, not positive. It's going to high. For me, when I saw this yesterday, I was like, oh God.
We are not just doing double-digit inflation. We are doing double.
It's
wrong. It's 30.
It's wrong.
It's on the rise.
And
all right. What is interesting here now is that these numbers are telling us that it's a trigger.
Okay.
That there's further hardship on the way. I know it's January and people are doing a lot of religious New Year thing and all that. But economically speaking and looking at the numbers and the maths, is that this is going to be triggering a new level of hardship, because nothing is on ground to show that is like anything is going to come down. Things are going higher. The insecurity that is causing food issues has not stopped. You know, things are still more like the way they are, even though the government is putting up some measures and all of that. But the numbers right now are showing that hardship is on the way. What do you think is the way out? What hope can we sell to the people right now? What do you think, as a Nigerian out there, you know, a man trying to pay his rent, trying to live his life, trying to feed his family, trying to, you know, what news do you think this is going to get?
What news do they want to hear? Wow, you are putting me.
You
are putting me on the spot. If you permit me to say that, because okay. Anyways, the new. I think it's quite simple. Everybody wants to hear that things are changing, or there are measures that, you know, if we put this in place, it's going to give this desired result, or accurate or expected results. You understand? So everybody wants to hear the president's comment on this. Everyone wants to hear, you know, the people in authority say, okay, this is where we are, and give us reasons why we have. No, don't just tell us, you know, it's December spendings, you understand, or December demands that, you know, that cost this. Go beyond, yes, go beyond, you know, what the NBS has said, and say, oh yeah, we are, you know, we have observed, you know, this trend, and these are things that we have put in place to ensure that, you know, this would drop, to ensure that, you know, the more demands that we have, there will be enough, you know, goods or what have you to cater for the, you know, the population. You understand? And I think that needs to be done pretty fast. Fast.
All right. So some good news though was that food inflation dropped from 2.98 to 2.66, and that has been said to have happened as a result of drop in beer sale of beer, and I mean, I was just saying, and a couple of other things. Yes.
You know, sometimes when I read these things, I ask myself the real question: did it really drop?
Same thing.
Did it really drop?
Because some of us were out there during that period.
Sometimes, how did they get this data safe?
You know,
I'm sure your wife is watching now, so you can.
We went out together. So, and we saw, you just what did there's this thing, what they call this one? Is it seafood or something?
Yeah.
You just use your thing to do pam, and you press, and as they say, you press money, you press on, and you begin to wonder if
what have you picked
is up to. But according to what we have, the numbers say that there was a drop in food inflation.
That is MBS.
From the MBS.
So let's ask the market women and the farmers.
You believed when inflation increased, but you're not believing.
What I'm saying is this. This thing is going. See, we can see practically see what is cheap, what is reduced. What have I bought last year that is cheaper this year? What did I buy in November that is cheaper in December? Even in the yam, in the food inflation they're talking about. So if maybe they got that from.
And they equally said.
Are you sure beer was cheaper?
I doubt it.
I don't drink beer, but I just asked, are you certain? I'm not certain about that beer got cheaper. Where? Which brewery reduced price now? Please tell me.
But why are you not doubting?
I'm not doubting. I'm only asking questions. No. It's not about that. It's about fact. What is factual? What's on the table now? And I asked, the tuber of yam that I bought in November, is it the same thing that I bought in December? No, the price went up. I'm very realistic here. I'm not talking about they did their work. Let's agree. But I am telling you, at the market there in the Bafo here, the amount I bought a tuber of yam in November was higher than the amount I bought in December. So what I'm saying is that in November, if it's 500, in December it was 600. So, and you're telling me it reduced, and I said,
You're doubting those numbers.
I'm not doubting the number. I'm asking questions.
Okay.
Please.
We are querying those numbers.
you can use that.
We have to move on to the next topic. Some good news, I guess. Yes, some good news for the Nigerian populace. Dangote refinery's petrol production has been affecting European markets. So said OPEC. I remember when this production, the Dangote refinery was being built, and so many dreams were sold, how the refinery was one of the biggest in the world. In fact, it's said to be bigger than the top 10 refineries in Europe, and you know, first of its kind in this part of the world, so on and so forth. I think I'll be starting with you anytime. But the good news is that it has started. In fact, for some persons, I have not confirmed it. They have said that when you buy Dangote fuel, refined off the Dangote refinery from MRS and one other station like that, that it lasts more. Their fuel lasts more. I have seen so many people on social media make mention of this. I'm just saying this is just an offshoot of the statement that OPEC has said. That Dangote is sending some other people out of the market. This is some form of good news, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a form of good news, especially coming from this part of the world, especially coming from Nigeria. We have been so dependent on importation of refined crude. You understand? Yeah, it's some sort of good news. Like what you said just now about the quality of Dangote fuel. I think if you recall back to one interview that he had, I think it was the particular day
during that period.
Yes, during that period, and he was giving us a sample of the refined oil, and he was saying, "Oh, this is what it looks like when it's looking like this for a certain reason, because this is correct and and what
marketing is product.
Obviously." but then
who's going to market
yes,
this?
who will
talk about
who
it?
will. But then I think it's good. It's a good one for us, and the fact that OPEC is coming to say, "Oh, this particular amount is they will need to look for a new market where they need to sell this to." It's affecting, and it brings the question. What would have happened for the X number of years that the Nigerian state-owned refineries in Nigeria have been
dead,
or have been sleeping? Let me not use dead, because they are back alive. Yeah, you can say dead.
They were dead.
But what would have happened if, in the space of how many months now, or about some months or a year, that Dangote is refinery is up? Less than a year that is up, and OPEC is already saying that Europe is already feeling the effect. What would
I don't think we should use the word Europe. Maybe some of those oil companies or those refineries there that we used to buy from
but those
are the ones filling it.
The point
the
is,
art and soul of their countries.
Yeah, so the art and soul of their countries.
yeah,
So means I agree. No, I agree, because we no longer buy as much as we used to buy.
Exactly.
So they would have more in their store.
Some other African countries are now getting from here.
So they will have also have issues.
And we're taking from here. Exactly. So my question is, what if our refineries, the state-owned refineries, were functional for the period of time that they were out? How would it have affected the Nigerian economy? You understand? Because it's, as good as this sound, we might not get the effect really. We might not see the effect really instantly. You understand? Now, coupled with back it up with the fact that the state-owned refineries are now up and running. Hopefully, they would be moving at the same pace. Maybe not the same capacity, but the same pace that the refinery is moving, and then maybe there are other refineries on that need
coming up. Yeah,
they are coming up, and if we get ourselves up to this level, what effect will it be on the long run? Yeah, it might be. It's expected to be
impactful,
especially with the Nigerian economy. So let's hope. Let's hope that it's not just OPEC that is, or the people outside are sweating and we are not getting the effects. So my point is, we need to get the effect. We need to see the effect. When?
Enjoy.
I don't know.
Celebrate.
So when? I don't know.
Statistics say that in the month of December 2024, about a little north of 1.5 million barrels was being done here in Nigeria, was being produced here in Nigeria. 1.5 upwards of 1.5 million barrels. That's an increase of 12,000 barrels from November.
Per day.
Yeah, in November it was about 1.47 million. Now, what probably I'm not too sure about is, this is most likely a combination of not just the Dangote refinery now, but the little bits from our refineries as well. Because there was a time it was on, and there was a time reports came out to say that the Port Harcourt refinery that came on board and everybody was celebrating over was down. Then the other refinery too came up. The Warri refinery came up for a while. But the number one refinery that everybody knows is working, that is on right now, and is out there practically competing neck to neck with anything and everything that is coming from the side of the NNPC.
Is Dangote,
NNPCL is Dangote.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. The numbers are going up. We just want to see facts on ground, like Anyton said. We want to see the statistics favoring the people and the reality, not just paperwork.
So I agreed with you that yes, we want to enjoy it. We want to feel the benefit in our economy. We want it to help our inflation to go down. We want it to strengthen our naira so that when we don't import with the dollar or the naira again, so we can plow that thing into our own economy and grow it. But this is it for me. I was asking myself, okay, the benefits, would it be that much? Would it be that much? But again, if we begin to earn dollars too from that side of production, it means the country is going to grow better. So if the government can consolidate, remember also it's not only Dangote that is, Boa is also building.
Yeah, Boa is coming up, yeah.
And I lent us one, Babajebu, something like that, also having something like similar to that.
I think Boa should be ready, is it this year or next year, one of the two?
These are good events. See, like I said, if we standardize our businesses, international standard, not local standard, international standard, it's a win-win for us. There is nothing to say Nigerian solution. No, it has to be international standard. So if we put things internationally, because those companies still out there were doing business because what they had international standard. So now they are losing because now Nigeria can refine. So, but they also have to fight for the market. There was a time they were saying there was a cartel against, there was an international cartel against Dangote refinery. So this, really they saw that look, is one of the biggest in the world.
That refinery can refine 650,000 barrels
per day.
Bigger than Shell's.
So it's bigger than even all the ones we're buying from. So because it's big, so it's going to be competing favorably with every other standard refinery in the world. So even the US can begin to consider Dangote to supply us petrol. So it's to our advantage if we as a country can manage and regulate the resources well. And I know we've been trying, that's why we have the PIB, the Petroleum Industry Bill, and so on, everything is up. So it's for this purpose. If we can achieve, maybe we'll no longer sell our crude out again and we do everything refined here and sell products outside.
The refinery were complaining that they were not supplying crude. And then, for a while, for a couple of days, there was no feedback from persons in government. It was just blank. But after a while, I think they came up to say the reason why that was happening was because Nigeria did not even have enough crude. The reason why Nigeria did not have enough crude was because Nigeria was producing, but Nigeria as a country is paying a loan due to the FX that was collected. So the deal was we will pay with crude while they got FX.
Crude
for dollars.
Crude for dollars.
So while that was ongoing, that was in the thick of when the dollar thing was going to like 2,000.
And beneficial.
So while that was going on, what is like your income has not come home, but you already know you are paying so school fees. So the income has gone without even coming. So the crude had gone even without coming in. So what they had left had to be distributed, and Dangote was not getting enough. So they were screaming and saying that there was some ring, there was a cartel trying to. It was a whole mess. But I think at the end of the day, I think this is some good news because Dangote practically had to fight for that refinery to come out.
So while you are this, I want us to get something straight to say. There is this problem between chocolate and cocoa. Now, in cocoa, we export the raw material. But the profit is when they are now sending us the chocolate. We are buying more. We are losing. We think we are making profit from selling cocoa, but no, not until if we are the one.
Why not get the
so produce the chocolate here and export the chocolate. So you make more from it. So if we are able to do our crude oil to the same way, that look, rather than take this crude oil out, we refine everything to every kind of product that is produced
to everything
and sell finished product.
And the FX comes in.
So we make
exactly.
more.
So I was going to sorry, pardon me, I was going to say that. So if this is working for us, then we should actually look at other means too. So that the stress will not be on crude oil alone. Because at this rate we need something functional, multi-level. You understand? Like we need something functional, not just one. We need like on different exactly, so that when there's too much stress, or rather there would be little stress or little or no stress at all on the particular axis, because at the rate that we are with our population and with the state of the economy, we really need to push all eggs out on different
the
baskets,
same thing should
not
go for
on one
our
particular basket.
gold,
And
for
then-
our iron ore,
exactly.
for everything. So that
And
look,
then,
we should be producing finished product from all these things, not just selling raw material.
Well, and it takes planning, you understand? It
The
takes
areas
a lot
of selling
planning.
of exporting raw material and thinking you are making money has gone. You need to begin to sell finished product, because when you send them raw material, they bring that finished product back to you. You're going to pay more.
I
for
agree.
it.
Now
I
we
agree
have to
with you.
increase our level of industrialization.
Exactly.
Because we need more companies coming
It
on
is.
board.
You have
Because
to
we need- I mean, crude can be turned into, I think, about 20-25 items.
Are you sure, if not more
If
than?
not far more than that. You can make coils out of it. You can make rubber bands out of it. You can make perfumes out
A
of it.
lot of
You can
things.
make baby jelly creams out of it. So if we are doing all of that here,
Right
getting
here,
it sorted, then you can take all of this outside and bring in more effects. All right.
But this
we
requires
do-
a lot of capital.
That's
it
what I'm saying,
requires a lot of-
industrialization.
Exactly.
on
And
a
then
major
and
scale.
then I was going to say something that we really need to look at the aspect of security. You were talking about sabotage the other time. This, we shouldn't wait until something happens before we now start saying, oh, we need to, counter this. Let's start planning now. This is the time to plan now. The refineries, especially the state-owned refineries, so that you will not hear that some people, some saboteurs have gone to demolish or to do something to, to vandalize the refinery, and then as a result of that vandalism, something has stopped working. And it has affected
the
whole
pipelines and so on.
plants and exactly.
Yeah.
So we need to do something now. Whoever the cabals may be, because this thing is more like a ring. It will look like a ring. It's not just somebody waking up and saying, "Oh, I want to just go and do this thing." It's calculated. It's well calculated.
Can you
for somebody to
can you
attack
buy
something as big,
a sheep?
you understand, as that is paying
a
some
badge
people.
for
So
one
we
in-
need to really go beyond the surface now. We really need to dig deep, go to the grassroots, know what to do, know how to do it, and actually do it.
All right. Very quickly, we have to move on to the next topic. Perhaps the biggest political story that has come out of this week. And it is the story of the impeachment of the Speaker of the Lagos House Assembly. He's now former Speaker, Mr. Mudashiru Obasa. It was the biggest news of this week, obviously. I mean, this was one of the strong men of Lagos politics. I mean, you talk about Lagos politics, you talk about Obasa of Agege, one of the major stakeholders. He has held that seat for 10 years. He has been Speaker since 2015. It was, what's the name of this other former Speaker now that also did the same, held the position? Lagos Speaker too. Yes, Iku Foriji, name comes to mind now. That also did same and did the leadership of the House for 10 years. But Obasa was so big, he wanted to go to the Senate in 2023, and for Lagos West, a lot of politicking came out of that. Eventually did not make it. It was the deputy governor of Lagos State who took that position, and then a former deputy governor of Lagos State. And then for 2027, reports had come out trying to aspire to be governor. Some statements were made, some actions were also said to have happened as well. But right now, his ex-speaker, because he was impeached, and his deputy, Mrs. Miranda, is now sitting on that seat. Lots of politics. Lagos is not a state where something just happens out of the blues. There's the GAC, there's the leadership.
Yeah.
Lagos politics is deep, perhaps
Very
the deepest in the country, due to how the politics is being played. You have to have been on the scene to get certain levels of endorsements, and
Exactly.
even local government tickets are not just tickets for anybody. They are for stakeholders who have been there. So what do you think would have happened to Obasa?
Oh well, the only thing that happened to him is that time was up. This, and I think this should really go into a Netflix series. Yes. It might sound funny, but it's the truth. For someone to have spent a decade, you understand, and to go out like that,
Unceremonious.
exactly, and till date, it's been 2 days now or so.
Yeah.
We have not. I don't think we have heard a word.
He has not made a
He has not made a statement. So what's going on? It's obviously, naturally or normally once the moment this happened, you get a statement. And
So let's look at it. Let's look at it this way.
Hold on, Mr. Ali. This is a lie. There are some people, trying to do this, do that. It's this and that. Exactly. But this is 2 days for the very well mounted Obasa that we know.
Dry silence for 48 hours.
He's been silent for 48 hours. A lot has gone, on the ground. A lot has come up too. And then even the governor of Lagos State has said, oh no, I ain't got nothing to do. I do not have anything to do with this. But we know that some things and some people have some things to do with it. And we are not hearing the full gist of it. But this is not the full gist. This is just what they want.
What if maybe he was the one that dug his own?
It's quite sad. Hold on, Mr. Ali.
Yeah.
It's quite sad and funny at the same time because some people who are tilting to one party, tilting to another party, they are what do they call this? Is it Whiskey FC? They are FCs for Obasa FCs and the powers that be FCs, and they are saying, oh, this they do not. They only know the surface. They only know like the surface. They don't know deep down what has transpired. I'm not saying Obasa is a saint, and I'm not saying the powers that be they are right to do what they. But we know that in this Lagos state, for you to stay as the speaker for 10 years, no, it's not. No. It's not just.
You are indeed one of the strong men.
Exactly, and then you must have stepped on a particular toe that you shouldn't have stepped on. Some particular toes. Thank you. Some particular toes, because if you check the feet of a man, they are his Lagos one, their head toes. So thank you. So some particular toes that shouldn't have. But if we are to go by by what the book says, or what they have come out to say that this and this and this, the allegations, he really needs to come and defend himself. We need to know why, he has kept silence for like 2 days, and why they have not done anything all this while. Why are they just doing something now? Or is it the fact that he has ambitions for the governorship? Exactly. And then somebody somewhere also who everybody knows is saying also wants to be the governor, and they are tipping some people are tipping him, that's the son of the president, to be the governor of Lagos State. So
let me start with that for Mr.
Yeah.
There are many persons that are being that are said to be running. Not many persons have come out to say I am running.
Yeah.
Even the chief of staff to the president in the video said, and it's not more than him. Obasa did something similar and said people are not better than him.
Yeah.
Right now everybody is just out there throwing what would I call it?
Darts.
Throwing darts. We don't know who is running. But do you think there is anything true in Sheyi Tinubu running for governor of Lagos State in 2027? You think that information is true?
Doesn't he have a right to aspire?
Of course he does.
So if you have a right to aspire, if he's truthful, you can't
I'm
compete.
just saying, do you think there's any...
He has a right to aspire.
Yes,
he has the right to aspire.
Yeah,
so since he has the right to aspire, we should allow him. The thing is that politics in Lagos, the APC politics is a good one, well organized, and it's strong as well as deep. So you want to get in. Let's look at it. The Obasa saga is fantastic. A man that has spent 10 years like that in that kind of a caliber as speaker, it's fantastic. A man that has spent 10 years in such position should not be pushed out the way he was pushed out. So I'm asking myself a question. Why didn't they push him out while they were there? Why must it be that when he traveled out of the country was when they were going to do this impeachment? It's wrong. They could have confronted him one-on-one face. Let there be a battle in that house. Yes, let's discuss this, and this is your problem. We want you to go now. But when he was out of the country because he was not there, it's a coup.
Some persons have said that perhaps he escaped because he got wind of the fact that his impeachment was closed. Some persons said he knew that they had called him and they had told him they wanted him out. Some stakeholders
so he could have been easy. He could have just resigned honorably and resigned because, see, he's an experienced man. So his experience is also needed. See, while we're doing all this, we should be thinking that, look, who are those who are going to take over from us? Who are those who are going to be tomorrow's leader? So these people that have somebody that has 10 years in the house is
a speaker.
That's what I'm saying. A speaker.
He has been in the house for over 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just using that. Look, that 10 years is knowledge, is wisdom of that house. If this guy put a book down, people should worship it and follow it. It's somebody that has a theory in his mind that looks how things should go. So with all these experiences, he should be able to be a governor if he wants to be governor. He has a right to be governor. And if he said the reasons for his removal are corruption based, so they should prove they should not alert. What I'm saying that I think we all as human beings should be sincere in every position that we are. Those who have impeached him now, are they sincere? Are they dancing to the tune of some people or some stakeholders? What exactly is the nitty-gritty? I think we need somebody to write a book and do this exposition for us so that we can all get a grasp of what is happening in the house.
All right, quick one, just yes or no, anything. Shouldn't the EFCC be coming on board?
Well, I think they should actually be coming on board. But then, if they are coming on board, Obasa is nowhere to be found to answer for.
They making a statement
or it should be probed.
Bringing them in.
So it should
because
be
these
probed.
are heavy figures.
Yes, it should.
That would be if they have a petition against him already. If they don't.
Exactly.
And
so
I think
that's a good
from
one.
the last report I read, I think they said even the FC is waiting for him at the airport. So I don't. They said he went from Atlanta to Dubai, and from Dubai back to Atlanta. Report. We don't know yet.
So you were asking him a question about whether Seyi Tinubu has a right.
No, I didn't say has a right. I said
whether
is there truth? Does he think there's truth in?
And he was saying that he has a right. If
he has a right, he should run.
So
I don't need to look for the truth.
2 days ago, there's a particular group of natives in Lagos. They call themselves, I think, the Renaissance Patriots Foundation, and they made some, heavy allegations. I would say allegations, and they were questioning the Seyi Tinubu's right to become the governor of Lagos State, saying that it does not belong to any of the 5 divisions in Lagos State. So that's like it calls for.
So you see politics on the big ground now.
Exactly.
That is counter and vote. So the battle is strong.
To it, but you have to connect the dots, and that's why I said we need a Netflix series for Obasa saga, and then maybe the entire Lagos politics.
One of the academic fathers
of political. We need the Netflix series for the Bodilon saga.
One of the academic fathers of political science, Aaron Laswell, defined politics as who gets what, when, and how. So I guess all of this still falls into that definition. And with this, we close the show for this week. God willing, we'll be here next week, Thursday again, doing what you know how to do best. Thank you very much for you, the viewers, for being a part of this. Like I always say, we are here because you are there. The weekend begins tomorrow. Don't be weakened by the weekend. Stay out of trouble. God bless you. Bye for now.